I hope this finds you well. I'm following on from last week's podcast where I talked about toxins in your home. And again, I'm going to caveat what I'm going to tell you today by saying I'm not here to scare you, I'm not here to worry you. What I'm here to do is empower you with what I've learned about toxins and the simple changes that you can make to make yourself healthier and happier. So, I'm going to talk today about the changes that I've made, how I noticed the difference in my life once I'd made these changes, what it meant for me, the effects that I saw. And then, thirdly, and the most important one, is the emotional shift that I got from making these changes. I want to talk first of all about 5 changes that I've made that have really helped me. And they're simple things to do. And again, I'm not here saying you've got to do all of these things and you don't have to do them all at once. You can do these things step by step, making baby steps as suits you. You can choose to do them, you can choose not to. That is your choice. Okay, but the first one I'm going to talk about, so important, I think, and it's natural detergents instead of commercial brands. Detergents that are available in the supermarkets can be cheap. They can also be full of very harmful chemicals. So I've made a conscious decision to use natural detergents. The ones I use are beautiful. They smell good. Think about what you're putting on your skin. Your skin is your body's largest organ, and we know that what we put into our skin gets into our bloodstream. So why not choose to put things onto your skin that are safe, that have got no hidden toxins in them, no hidden chemicals that we don't know what they're doing to our systems. So choosing a natural detergent was a no-brainer for me. I've experimented with a few and I found a beautiful range. They smell lovely. They're on my clothes smell nice. When I get into my bed, I know that the bedding around me, my pillow that I sleep on, hasn't got these horrible chemicals that we just don't need in our lives. There are a lot of really good alternatives out there, so I'd urge you to find something that suits you. I'll put a link into the show notes and you can see the ones that I use. I'm not here to sell products. I'm here to say make some conscious choices that are going to be good for you. The second thing I'd ask you to think about is using glass containers. Glass containers instead of plastic. There is so much research now about microplastics and the fact that they're all around us. They're in our water stream, they're in our bodies, they're in a lot of the foods that we have got microplastics in them as well. So let's not add to that toxic burden. When you're saving your leftovers or you're making some food that you want to take out with you, could you use a glass container instead of a plastic one? There are these beautiful mason jars you can get now, and it really helps with food planning. If you want to improve your nutrition, it's very easy when you're busy to think, oh my goodness, I need to grab a snack and make an unhealthy choice. I like to, on a Sunday, think about the week ahead. Where am I going to be going? What am I going to be doing? What am I going to be eating? What food preparation can I do? So mason jars are a really good way of preparing your food. You can put salads in them. You can put all the good things in that you want to eat. You can do overnight oats in them. You can put leftovers in them. They're a really good way and they're very convenient, easy to carry if you're out and about as well. So just think about glass containers instead of plastic, because plastic has got so much research now about the harms that plastic's doing to us. I really think in years to come, a lot of these plastics will be banned. But for now, you can make choices for yourself. The third thing I'm going to come on to is swapping deodorant and really being conscious again of not just picking the cheapest one or the one that you've always used, making a conscious decision to think, actually, I would really like to avoid aluminium or any harmful chemical like that being under my arm, especially for a breast cancer survivor. You don't want any toxins near your lymph nodes. You don't want to be rubbing that. The research on this is very mixed. I'll admit that there are some studies that say yes, that deodorants and antiperspirants are linked to breast cancer. There are other studies that say no, they're not. But for me, why not make a healthy choice? It doesn't do you any harm to think, actually, I'm going to make a nice choice for me, one that I enjoy using and one that's effective. There are lots of brands that do them. And the fourth one, in a similar vein, is natural moisturiser and face oil. Your skin is the body's largest organ. Think about what you're putting onto your skin, nurturing your skin. And it can be a really nurturing, lovely thing to do is to massage your face with a natural moisturiser or a face oil. Now, I, for many years, had very oily skin and I was prone to being spotty. And I avoided putting oils on my face. I thought, oh no, that's not something I need. But actually now I've got used to cleansing my face with a face oil, and I'm amazed at how lovely and soft my skin feels afterwards. And my skin has not got spotting because if you choose the right oils. And again, there's lots of brands that do them now, but think about what you're putting onto your skin. Do you need to be applying layer of chemicals onto your skin? Because you really don't. There are some great brands out there. The fifth one I'm going to leave you with today is a water filter jug. It's really convenient because it fits in the door of my fridge. Some people serious about their health will spend a lot of money, spend thousands of pounds on plumbed in water filters into their house. And that's great because it takes all the chemicals out of that. And obviously the water that you're drinking in and preparing your food and washing your vegetables, all of that. But they are expensive. They're not accessible to everybody. So a water filter jug is a cheap alternative to doing that. I am very lucky. I live in Manchester. The quality of our water is not bad. But even in our area, there are so many additives, there are so many chemicals, there are so many things in there that you don't want to be ingesting. And, there's a lot of studies that show so many things now. I think the widespread use of hand sanitizers is affecting the water quality. A lot of the chemicals that are used in hand sanitizers are now in our drinking water. And so a filter jug or a filter system, some way of cleaning the water that you drink. I talk about drinking a lot of water all the time because it's the basis of good nutrition. Many illnesses start in our body with dehydration. And if you've ever had a hangover, it's your body crying out for water. It makes you feel rotten. And being dehydrated can lead to all sorts of illnesses. So it's one of the most important things we can do for our health to keep hydrated. I really want to know that I'm drinking good quality water, and my water jug helps me do that. Simple thing to do. Now, some people do say to me, oh, I don't really like drinking water, don't like the taste of it. That's fine. As long as you're drinking the water with something that's not too sugary or chemically. So you could I love to put frozen berries in my water. That's a really nice thing to do. Or I've got some hydration sticks that are from a health company that I buy from. That again, it's adding to my health. It's keeping me hydrated. It's good for everything. It's good for your skin, but it's not just about vanity. It's knowing that it's doing good for your body as well. Okay, so water, so important. And the changes that, the 5 things I've just talked about, what did I notice when I started changing these things? Well, for one, I've got better sleep. I know I'm sleeping in sheets and duvet covers that have got no chemicals in. It might be psychological, it doesn't matter. I'm sleeping better. I've got less itchy skin. My skin is feeling so much better. And because of that, I've got more energy and I've got less brain fog. And so many women of my age talk about brain fog, whether you've had chemotherapy and they call it chemo brain, whether you've been through the menopause and they call it meno brain, or it's just a fact of getting older. Sometimes I'm not as sharp as we used to be. But I really think since I've made these changes, I've got less brain fog. And they're very simple things to do. So I'd really advise you to do that. The third thing that I want to leave you with is the most important difference this has made in my life. By making these changes, this is part of my cancer recovery plan. I would love to think that I'm going to live to a ripe old age. I want to be happy, healthy, strong, and vital. That is my aim. When I'm thinking about what I'm doing, I want to do something today that my future self will thank me for. So all of these things, they're little things, they're not hard to do, they're not expensive, but my future self will thank me for these little habits that have built up over the days, the weeks, the years, that will make me into a happy, healthy old lady. And that's really what I'm aiming to be. But also, the other thing that emotionally this has helped me to do, it's really helped me to forge my identity, to change from being a victim, from somebody who was sick, from somebody who was out of control when I got my cancer diagnosis and I had no control over the treatment, or I felt I did at that time. I was so scared, to being somebody who actually has been through treatment, who's stopped now, taken a breath and thinking consciously, how do I want to live my life? What are the choices that I want to make? What are the habits that I want to have every day that will help me to be happy and healthy? And that is so empowering. That is a complete mind shift. That is moving from being a victim to being somebody who is empowered, who is choosing to do the right things, backed up by research. It's not a fantasy, and it's not just popping a pill because somebody's told me to, and it's not just following blind advice. So this is part of my cancer recovery plan, and this is something that I help my clients with, to come up with a personalised cancer recovery plan to make sure that they've got good habits. It's not about being perfect. We know this is real life. I'm not saying to anybody they should stop doing anything that they enjoy unless it's really harming their health, but making choices every day that really will help you happy and healthy for a long, long time. So thank you so much for listening. It means the world to me. If you want to leave me a review or a like, that would be absolutely wonderful. And if you've made any choices, any changes like this, get in touch with me and let me know what you've done. I'd love to hear from you. So as always, I'd urge you to stay safe and stay sane. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.